Hello indie game fans, the classic 2D action platformer still has its place in the modern gaming scene, where it's no surprise that a majority of these come from indie developers, where I do have an awesome selection coming up in this video. Let's begin with Virtua Unlimited Project, a pixel art title that looks fantastic, where its most interesting gimmick is that it stars VTuber characters, although I don't think that these are actual VTubers, but are in-universe instead. It is inspired by Mega Man Zero, so you do see the mixture of melee and ranged weapons set in a virtual world of New Babylon, which I think looks fantastic. A very minimalist pixel art title is NecroArcher, one where you play as a skeleton archer fighting his way through the world. The character designs and pixel art is minimalist, almost on the level of something like Realm of the Mad God, but there is a world map with various upgrades looking pretty fun. A neat looking title is Soaring, one where you play as a bird looking for a lost egg, having precision, frustration and action platformer elements in this title. The developer of Makis Adventure did reach out to me, and while I'm not completely sold on the visuals, the action looks very smooth and fluid both in combat and during the platforming sections. The main gimmick is that our hero is able to turn into a shark once he touches water, being able to maneuver and swim, which combines cleverly with the traversal mechanics. In fact, there are 3 different styles of shark in the Reef, Hammerhead, and Mako sharks, each acting as some form of upgrade in a Metroidvania-light way, but the game does seem to have linear dungeons with a boss at the end of it, which is why it appears on this list. A title that I've had my eye on for quite a while is Fallen Leaf, a retro entry that I think looks fantastic, looking to pay tribute to the classics, where I see bits of Mega Man and Wonder Boy in this game. There are 3 playable characters in the appropriately named Leaf, Petal, and Thorn, where each does look to have their own special abilities. However, I don't think that the campaigns are unique, but there are branching paths and different levels to check out, where from this trailer alone seems to have quite a bit of variety as well. The colour palette chosen is very intentional, such that it evokes games of the past, where this developer certainly knows what they're doing, so if it comes out this year, will be one to get. Pet Boy has also appeared in my videos before, where, like Fallen Leaf mentioned above, does have a very retro look that I absolutely love. You play as a super-powered high school kid that plays baseball, having to use his bat to fight against the forces of the villain, whose goal is to host a number of sinister athletic events for his own amusement. In fact, you're battling against the other student sports stars who have been brainwashed by the villain, leading to a very cleverly themed game with bosses that exemplify other sports. I see a lot of Shovel Knight in this, so if it manages to capture some of that same magic, could be very interesting indeed. We do see the long-lasting impact that classic games have on modern indie developers, since many are using a pixel art style that is reminiscent of those games, where we are looking at Super Alloy Ranger here. Reductively, it looks like Mega Man meets Metal Slug, where there are two playable characters, one which is melee focused and the other with ranged weapons. The one standout example of this are the boss designs, all of them having immaculate pixel art which I absolutely love, from giant tanks and airships to one particularly fantastic looking red robot, so for these reasons alone it got my attention. Let's kick off the top 3 with Lady Hunt, a grimdark entry that is quite the departure from the retro pixel art style of the previous few games, but is no less impressive. In fact, there are some Souls-like elements in this game, with the intentional stamina-based combat, which you can see in the top left, but if the look, music and action of this trailer is anything to go by, could be a dark, gothic entry worth a play. Of course, Yokai Hunter Shintaro got my attention due to the pixel art, being quite a classic looking Japanese themed title that I think looks absolutely fantastic. The developers made a super short 18-second trailer, so I'm opting to show gameplay instead, where you get to see the variety of enemies in this title. Our hero seems to be able to call upon the power of animal spirits like a snapping turtle as well, giving him a temporary boost in power and speed. But I do want to give a very special shout out to the awesome level select screen right at the start of the trailer. The best part is that this has a May 2022 release window, so hopefully we will all get to play this soon. And of course, perhaps the reason as to why this video was made is Nine Souls, a 2D hand-drawn action platformer with an interesting lineage and setting, looking absolutely fantastic and is not to be missed. It has a very interesting Tau punk theme, which is a combination of Taoism and Far Eastern mythology with cyberpunk and sci-fi elements, where our hero is on a quest to slay the Nine Souls, rulers of this forsaken realm that was once home to an ancient alien race. The action is the highlight, being constructed around a mechanic similar to deflection in Sekiro, with some awesome enemy designs based on Eastern dragons and Jiangshi or Chinese hopping vampires. It comes to us from Taiwanese developer Red Candle Games, who are best known for their horror titles, one of which is named Devotion, which was infamously pulled off Steam, so it's interesting to see them try their hand at another genre, with a link to their crowdfunding campaign on their own website down below, looking like an awesome project taking the #1 spot. For more action platformers, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.